Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and suddenly noticed something that's really hard to accept? Your body doesn't look overweight at all. Some people even tell you that you're skinny, but your lower belly sticks out. Your arms and legs feel thin, soft, almost fragile. You put on a t-shirt and instead of looking strong, it just hangs loosely on your frame. You try doing more cardio. You try eating less. You even try skipping meals. And yet, nothing really changes. After a while, the frustration sets in. You're tired, confused, and quietly wondering what is actually going on with your body. What you're experiencing has a name. In science, it's called skinny fat. Being thin in body weight, but high in body fat. It sounds contradictory, right? But research published on PubMed and in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition describes this condition very clearly. Skinny fat is not a disease. It's not something that will harm you overnight, but it is a warning sign that your body is out of balance. Your scale weight may look normal, but your fat percentage is high and your muscle mass is low. The good news is this. Once you understand what's happening, and once you take the right steps, you can absolutely get out of the skinny fat state and build a body that is leaner, stronger, and more confident. In today's video, I want to take you on a simple, honest journey. No fake promises, no six-pack in 7 days nonsense. Everything you'll hear is based on principles that are supported by real science and studies published in international medical and sports science journals. And don't worry, I'm not going to drown you in complicated terminology. Think of this like a coffee conversation between friends, where we calmly break down what skinny fat really is and how to fix it, even if you've never set foot in a gym before. Let's imagine two people who both weigh 65 kilograms. One of them looks solid, broad shoulders, flat stomach, visible arm muscles. The other has a slightly protruding lower belly, narrow shoulders, soft arms and legs. On the scale, they're identical. Inside their bodies, they're completely different. The first person has more muscle and less fat. The second person has less muscle and more fat, especially visceral fat around the organs. That second person is the classic example of skinny fat. A large review published in Frontiers in Endocrinology in 2022 showed that people who are skinny fat actually have a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance compared to people of the same weight who carry more muscle. So this isn't just about appearance. It's also a quiet signal about your long-term health. The signs are usually quite clear. Fat tends to collect around the lower abdomen, even when body weight is normal. Shoulders look narrow. Arms and legs lack definition. And many people feel tired very quickly when doing physically demanding activities. The causes are also common. A sedentary lifestyle, eating too little protein, and relying too much on cardio while ignoring resistance training. This leads to the big question almost everyone asks. Should you lose fat first, or should you gain muscle first? It sounds simple, but the answer is more nuanced than most people think. If you immediately slash calories to lose fat, your body, which already has very little muscle, will lose even more. You may end up looking weaker, flatter, and still not get the flat stomach you want. On the other hand, if you rush into eating more to bulk up without a structured training plan, most of those extra calories will go straight to your belly. You'll gain fat faster than muscle, and the problem gets worse. This is why organizations like the International Society of Sports Nutrition and experts from the National Strength and Conditioning Association often recommend body recomposition for beginners, building muscle and losing fat at the same time. This phase is a sweet spot. When you're new to training, your body is extremely responsive to both exercise and nutrition. If you do things right, changes can happen faster than you expect. So, how do you do this properly? The first step is focusing on compound exercises and progressive overload. If you're new, learning proper technique from a coach or credible source is essential to avoid injury. Multi-joint movements like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, pull-ups, and overhead presses are your foundation. These exercises recruit multiple muscle groups at once, making them efficient for building muscle and strength. Start with a weight you can control. Aim for about 6 to 9 repetitions per set. When you can perform 9 reps comfortably, increase the weight slightly, usually by 2 to 5 kilograms, and go back to 6 reps. Then build up again. This gradual increase in load is called progressive overload, and it's the primary signal that forces your muscles to adapt and grow. The second step is periodization, structured variation over time. If you train with the same weight and the same reps forever, your body adapts and progress stalls. Research published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research shows that varying training volume and intensity over cycles leads to better long-term results. You might spend 3 to 4 weeks in a higher rep range to build muscular endurance, then shift to lower reps to emphasize hypertrophy and strength, and occasionally include heavier phases for maximal strength, always with proper technique and safety in mind. The third step is precise nutrition. There's a saying in fitness that's brutally true: you can't out-train a bad diet. According to guidelines from the ISSN, an effective protein intake for muscle growth is roughly 1.8 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Protein provides the building blocks for muscle and helps you stay full, reducing unnecessary snacking. Dietary fat should make up at least 20 to 30% of total calories to support hormonal health. Carbohydrates fill in the remaining calories and act as fuel for intense training. Total calories should sit slightly above maintenance, around a 5 to 10% surplus, enough to support muscle growth without excessive fat gain. The fourth step is smart cycling between building and cutting phases. You don't need to live forever in a calorie surplus. A practical approach is spending 12 to 18 weeks focusing on muscle gain with a small surplus, followed by 4 to 6 weeks of a gentle calorie reduction while keeping resistance training the same. This helps shed accumulated fat while preserving the muscle you've built. The fifth and final step is increasing NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This includes daily movement like walking, climbing stairs, and household tasks. Research from the Journal of Applied Physiology shows that simple habits like walking 2 to 3 kilometers per day can significantly increase weekly energy expenditure without interfering with recovery. In contrast, excessive high-intensity cardio during muscle-building phases can make recovery harder, especially for beginners. Low-intensity movement is often the smarter choice. So here's the takeaway. Skinny fat is not your destiny, it's just a temporary state. Science consistently shows that if you train with resistance, eat enough protein, manage calories wisely, and stay active daily, your body will change. You'll feel stronger, more confident, and more comfortable in your own skin. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and sharing your experience in the comments. Every week, I'll bring you science-based insights into health and fitness, not just to change how you look, but to help you truly understand your body from the inside out. Be patient. Be consistent. Your body is adapting, even when you don't see it yet. Skinny fat is just a phase, and you absolutely can move past it.